Good morning, good morning. As promised, I am live to talk to you about back to school oils and how to kind of get your kids and yourself back on track after a summer of chilling and chillaxing. I know for some of you today is the first day of school. Some of the school started a week or two ago, and if you're in the East Coast, a lot of times your school doesn't start for a couple of weeks. So hopefully, this can help in some fashion. We'll talk about getting ready to go back to school, and then also some ways to help your kids and yourself once school has started. So let's talk first about getting your mind. Someone asked about how do you go from sort of like that chill summer vibe to being serious again. And my suggestion to you, and what I'm doing at my house, is I'm starting, like I have teenagers who like to sleep in, and I'm starting waking them up earlier. Sorry, my allergies are terrible. Starting to wake them up earlier now, and sort of slowly making that earlier so that by the time we get to school, the school start, it won't be a huge shock. And then the second thing is starting to implement some routines in the morning so that when you get back into the routine of school, you still have those same things that you're doing. So one of the things I like to recommend to people is to have something sort of joyous and sparkly and bright in their diffuser in the morning, and make that your morning routine. So you wake up in the morning, you're getting school lunches together, you're getting everyone up and going, and you're diffusing something in your house that is uplifting and positive. So I wanted to give you 2 recommendations of diffuser blends that I love for the morning. The first is the one that I use almost every single day, and that is Peppermint and Wild Orange. So these are like super, like I said, bright and sparkly, joyous, uplifting. It's hard to be in a bad mood when you're smelling these, and you could start diffusing them in the morning now as you're preparing for the mornings when you're going to be getting everyone on the bus or getting everyone to school. So Wild Orange and Peppermint, depending on your diffuser and the volume it holds, you could go anywhere from 2 drops each to 4 or 5 drops each, depending on how strong you like it to be. So that's one suggestion. Another one is Citrus Bliss, and I like to combine this with spearmint, these 2 together, Citrus Bliss and spearmint. But I know for a fact, like Citrus Bliss is a great one for kids because it has vanilla and it sort of smells a little bit like a creamsicle, and it's got all the uplifting oils in the citrus family, plus that vanilla, so it's sweet, and it's just like it's called the invigorating blend. It's like very happy and uplifting. And if you want to add another oil, you can add spearmint or peppermint even. This is one of my favorite combos, spearmint and citrus bliss. It really smells like a creamsicle. So it's one that a lot of kids, it doesn't really matter how old they are, will like usually. And so they're not as resistant to, say, for example, something strange like coriander or Siberian fir. So those are some good ones to start with. So get in the habit of creating a blend in the morning, get going in the morning with something uplifting and positive that can kind of shift the energy. And I know that you probably are aware that essential oils can help with your emotions. So if you're having kids that are resistant to getting up or are nervous or any of those kind of things, you can choose oils that help them feel grounded and calm. And so there's a lot of options in that regard. You could these are oils that you could apply or oils that you could diffuse. So if you have an anxious child and you want them to be calmer in the morning when it comes to school, you could combine something uplifting, like, say, for example, lemon or orange, with something a little bit more grounding. And some choices for that are really nice are, of course, lavender. Lavender is a super soothing oil for anxiousness, and it's pretty mellow. It's not super strong smelling, and you could use this in a roller, apply it to their feet, or diffuse it in your house. Some other options I love are Balance. I actually put a dropper top on my Balance because I use it so much. So Balance is super woodsy, and it's a grounding blend, so it makes them feel safe and protected. For my yogis, that's like first chakra, protection, safety, All of those kind of qualities come along with this oil, and it's really lovely diffused with wild orange. It's a great combo. Another one I like is Peace. So Peace has all the soothing, protective, and really, really calming oils in it. Some of the ones that I like for, say, if you're, if you get kind of nervous and excited, is vetiver. Vetiver is one of the oils in this. It's a great one for kind of like settling the dust. And so all of these are awesome if you have a child that has anxiousness or stress or nervousness about going back to school, or you do, because some parents are very nervous about having their kids go back to school. These three, so we've got Lavender. You can also use Serenity, the restful blend. You've got Balance and Peace. These are also really good oils to have around for sleep, because one of the things that happens when you go back to school is your schedule's changing, and sometimes that means like your sleep schedule's changing, and it's super important for kids to get a lot of sleep. And so you can use these at night as well on the bottoms of their feet or in the diffuser. This piece is in a roll-on, but it also comes as like a bottle of oil as well. And then one of the things I get asked for a lot is how to get kids, when they come home from school, to focus and do homework after a long day of school. So one, I recommend giving them a break. And two, when it's time to sit down and be focused for homework, there's a lot of options. But some of the ones I love are lemon. Now, one of the great oils for focus is rosemary, but I would say for kids that's not always a favorite choice. So lemon is great. And there's another blend called In Tune. And this one has patchouli and ylang ylang. So it's a little funky maybe for kids, but you could try rolling it on the bottoms of their feet. Why I keep saying feet, you have the largest pores there, and you have, it's also far from your nose. So if you don't like the smell of it, you still get the benefits of it, but you don't have to necessarily smell it. So In Tune is great for focus. Peppermint's great for focus. Lemon's great for focus. And if they're just kind of like, try some Balance, maybe Balance and lemon. Those are a great way to have them focus and do homework and also be grounded. Yes, there are many other options for that as well. So if you don't have these oils and you want some other suggestions, just DM me and let me know. And then finally, two things. One is we actually have a collection of oils that are specifically for kids. They come, if you buy them together as a collection, they come in this little pack that they can clip onto their backpack, and they have cards so the kids can pick out the one they want. And I wanted to mention two in particular. So one is called Calmer. And the card for Calmer says, when it's bedtime, roll Calmer onto the bottoms of your feet and onto your wrists. Climb into bed and take a deep breath to let your mind rest. This is also a terrific blend for kids who are anxious. And the kids collection is diluted for all ages. They're a little bit less complex than, say, some of the blends that we have, the general blends. So they're really, really great for kids to have. You do have to dilute oils for kids, and that's another conversation. So if you're interested in the parameters for that, just message me and I'll let you know the specifics. But don't use straight up undiluted oils on kids generally, because they're like sponges, And these, if you buy them as a set, they come with these little caps and carabiners. So they say your child is an anxious child and they want to take something with them to support them during school. They can get these with the little thing and clip it onto their bag and have it with them. So I love the Calmer. There's one called Brave. And Brave is for courage. So if they're nervous, it's a new school, they're going into kindergarten, they've never gone to school before, any of those things. A lot of kids are nervous the first day of school, even the first week of school. And maybe you are too. So courage is great for that. And then the other one I wanted to talk about, and just to kind of close on this topic, one of the things I hear a lot from people when the beginning of the school starts is their kids get sick. And the reason that happens is because everyone's gone away to different places, kind of like come in contact with, infectious things, wherever they are. and then bring it back. And you maybe, and your kids maybe have built up a strong immune system to the things that you've been exposed to, but now they're getting exposed to all this different stuff. And so it's not uncommon in the beginning of the school year for kids to get sick, especially when they're younger, especially if it's their first time going away to school. So I like to recommend a couple of things to protect your kids. So one is there is a kids collection oil called Stronger that is filled with immune supportive oils. This is great, and you could make this part of your morning or bedtime routine where you put this on the bottoms of their feet or roll it up and down their spine to help keep them, give their immune system a little boost. The entire On Guard line is what I use at my house, and I love for older kids the hand sanitizing spray. So this is a hand sanitizer. It would fit into any purse or backpack, super small, and it has all of the immune supportive benefits of On Guard. And you can also use On Guard roll-on on your feet. You can diffuse it in your house. And I try to, when my kids come home from school, we have On Guard soap, and they wash their hands before they have their snacks or whatever. So just kind of keeping that consistency of using these products. And then finally, one of the things I like to recommend to parents is to consider a probiotic, because gut health is really important for overall health and wellness. And we actually have like a child's probiotic, and it's like a pixie stick. It tastes kind of like strawberry pixie sticks. So you can take these and put them in their lunch, or they just kind of pour them in their mouth just like a pixie stick. They taste good, and it's a way for you to give their gut health a little boost, to help them to stay healthy and well during the school year. So adults can also use these. We have an adult version that is actually in pill form, a double encapsulated probiotic, but you can also take these I know a lot of adults that take these as well. So if you're an adult that struggles with swallowing pills, and there are a lot of you, this is a great alternative for gut health. And this is a way to kind of minimize the stuff that comes in, infectious stuff that comes in at your gut. Okay, so gut protection, immune support, sleep support, focus, and then morning transitions. And so as you're getting ready for school to start, begin with some of those daily rituals. Include essential oils into your morning routine, into your afternoon routine, into your bedtime routine, and just kind of establish that that's one of the ways that you can take care of yourself and help yourself and stay healthy and well and happy during the school year with your kids. My last suggestion to you is this. A lot of times, the things that I like are not necessarily the ones that my kids would like. So if you have a collection of oils, don't be afraid to open your box and say to your kids, why don't you pick out an oil or two that you want to use at bedtime, or an oil or two that you want to use when you get home from school, or an oil you want to bring with you for school, because it's all different, and it changes over time. So if you're using Calmer, and then Calmer seems to not be doing what your kid needs, maybe you need to switch to Peace. Maybe they really like Peace. Maybe Peace is the one that's super calming. So I hope that's helpful, you guys. Back to school is exciting, and my experience is, I have a 14-year-old and almost 16-year-old, is routine. And the same thing is true with oils. You want to have a routine and stick to it. And consistency is where you will see the results. So don't try something once and then decide it doesn't work. Like, start using consistent practices in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. And that's when you'll start to see some really positive effects of the oils. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know, and if you have any questions about diluting, about specific oils, about anything I've talked about, just send me a DM. All right? Have a good one, you guys. Bye.